Welcome to Open Up's Practice a Day. My name is Nikki. Today we're going to begin with yoga. Find a comfortable seat. We'll start with a short breathing exercise to warm up our lungs, followed by some movement, and finally some meditation. Come to a seat that can be cross-legged or sitting on your shins like me, maybe even in a chair. Just make sure you're positioned so that you can sit up nice and tall as possible with your upper body. I invite you to place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly so that you can feel your body breathe. Let's take one cleansing breath together. Inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Let's try that one more time. Inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, let it go. Today we're going to practice Samavriti, or same breath. We'll be inhaling for the same number of counts as we exhale. We're going to start with a 4-count breath. I'll do the counting, you do the breathing. So as we inhale, our belly will expand, filling with air. And as we exhale, we'll feel it contract, expelling all of the air from our lungs. Let's try it together. Inhale for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the air out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Great work. Go ahead and relax. Take any movements you need to. We're going to move on to a 5-count breath now. So let's do a cleansing breath together. Inhale through the nose. Open your mouth, sigh it out. If it felt nice to place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly, go ahead and do so again. Or I might invite you to wrap your fingers and your thumb around your rib cage so that you can really feel your full body expand, not just in the front, but in the back as well. Give it a try with me if you like. 5-count Samavriti. Inhale for the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Control the breath in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go for the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sip air in slowly for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release air for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent job. Hopefully you could feel the breath when you place your hands around your ribcage. Take any movement, shake anything out that you need to. Notice how you feel after taking those breaths. Should start to warm the body a little more too. So we'll try this one more time. This time it will be for the count of 6. So we're really going to elongate those breaths. Take it nice and slow. Try to keep the breath even for the whole 6 counts, whether it's coming into the body or exiting the body. So before we get started on that last 6-count Samavriti, We'll take one more cleansing breath together. Deep inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, side out, let it all go. So maybe you liked one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Maybe you preferred wrapping your hands around your ribcage to really feel that full 360-degree experience. Perhaps you want to just leave your hands on your thighs. It's totally up to you for this last count. Just make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. And here we go. Inhale for the count of 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for the count of 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Even inhalation for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhalation for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sip in air slowly. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go evenly. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great work practicing your breath control. I know it can get a little tricky the longer we go, but the more you practice, the better you will get. Let's start by staying in our seat here. We'll take our right ear to our right shoulder. And then just think about your left ear falling away from the left shoulder. So you should feel a tiny little stretch in the left side of your neck. Take your right arm, reach it up and over so that your right hand just drapes over your left ear. Pause for a moment here. Let gravity add to the stretch. And go ahead and release that. Left ear to left shoulder. Feeling a stretch on the right side of the neck. For a little bit deeper of a stretch, take that left arm up and over. Don't pull, just let the weight of your arm do a little bit of stretching on the right side. And release. Take your shoulders up by your ears as if you're wearing earrings and release them away. Staying here, we're going to open and close our chest, kind of like a cow and cat if you've done that in tabletop, but seated. So first, we will open our chest, letting our arms go back behind us, a slight bend in the back. And then we'll curl our shoulders forward, rounding our upper spine. Inhale, open the chest, slight back bend. Exhale, shoulders roll forward, rounding the upper spine. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, round the spine. Come to a seat. Turn towards your right. We're going to be twisting from the upper body. So think about twisting from behind your heart. We're going to keep our hips seated and our legs will remain straight as we do a slight twist over to the right. You can use your arms to help move you a bit. I'm pressing on the outside of my right leg and my right arm is positioned behind my right hip. We want to try to keep our chest open and keep our gaze kind of in line with our upper body. So I'm not turning my head too far. And back to center. Twisting over to the left. Lift the crown of your head up towards the sky first before turning from that middle back. Take a deep breath in. And see if you can twist a little bit deeper. Really nice. Back to center. Arms down by your side. On an inhale, we'll reach our arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, press our palms away from each other. Arms come down by the side. Inhale, reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, press our arms away. Last time, sip air in through your nose. Release that air through your nose. Very nice. Come into tabletop position, all fours. This is another good time to remind you, if you have socks on, go ahead and take them off. I know oftentimes when it's cold outside, like today, I tend to keep them on, but we want to make sure we don't slip on the mat during yoga. So coming onto all fours, really try to spread your fingertips nice and wide. Press into the palm of your hand and then press into each finger separately. So think about the thumbs, then the index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and pinkies. Our toes are untucked right now. Go ahead and give them a little tap on the mat, feeling the tops of your feet, waking up those feet. Go ahead and tuck your toes. Begin to slowly lift your knees off the mat. 1 inch, then 2 inches, until you press your hips up towards the ceiling. Legs begin to straighten, and heels press towards the mat. Maybe you've never been reaching the mat. Pause here. Notice how you feel. See if you can press your chest closer to your knees. There'll be a slight bend in your elbow and a bend in your knees. See how this stance feels for you. My feet are about hips width apart. I'm going to try widening my stance. So maybe take your feet the width of the mat. Notice how that feels. This can be a lot on your shoulders. So if you need to take a break, you can always come back to tabletop. Give yourself a little rest here for a moment. And let's play around with our stance some more. Tuck your toes under. Begin to lift your knees slowly off the mat as you extend your hips to the sky. Press your hands into the mat. Press your heels back. This time, let's try a narrow stance. So I'm going to bring my big toes to touch. As I press the palms of my hands down, my chest goes towards my knees. Take a deep inhale here through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Great. Come back down. See how your body might have felt with your legs far apart versus your legs narrow. Now we're going to find the in-between. See if we can find that ideal stance for our bodies, because we know we're all very different. Come back to tabletop. Tuck your toes and lift your hips to the sky. Now see if you can find that happy medium between our wide stance and our narrow stance. Once you're here, feel free to bend one knee and then the other, stretching out your calf and Achilles muscles. Pause here. Let's take some pressure off our shoulders by walking one hand and then the other back towards our feet. Let your knees bend a lot as your arms dangle towards the mat. Try grabbing opposite elbows and notice which forearm is in front. Sway side to side. Pause, release the clasp, and then switch which arm is in front as you grab opposite elbows. One way might feel a little bit strange compared to the other. Swing side to side. Release the clasp. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. Loosening up your neck. And then just let your head hang heavy, as if you had a bowling ball attached to the top of your head. Bend your knees a lot and slowly begin to roll up. Stacking one vertebrae on top of the other as you get all the way straight. Come to stand, hands down by your side. Mountain pose. Take a deep inhale through your nose, filling your air with lungs, filling your lungs with air. And let it all go. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, press your palms away. Shoulders go down the back. Shoulder blades go down the back. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, press your arms away. Last time, breathing with movement. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, arms come down. Very nice. Roll your shoulders up, down, and back. Up, down, and back. We're going to come down to a seat. Find something comfortable, either on your shins, or you can sit cross-legged on a blanket or a chair. We're going to take a moment to do a quick, quiet meditation. Quick because meditation can sometimes feel intimidating. I know it is for me. It can be scary sometimes to sit alone with our thoughts. So let's take one moment of silence, quieting our minds, but not worrying if something comes into focus. If a thought comes into your mind, acknowledge it, and then let it go. Eyes can be open or closed. Remember, if a thought comes into your head, totally fine. Acknowledge it and then let it go. Bring your attention back to your breath. How did you do? 1 minute's not so scary after all. I think it's a good place to start. And if you want to focus on more meditation, you can add a minute each day to your practice, slowly building up until maybe you can even do 20 minutes. All right, back to some movement. Come to a seat and place the bottoms of your feet together. Baddha Konasana. Knees will come out wide and play around with the positioning of your feet. Sometimes it feels nice to have your feet further away from your body. Sometimes it feels nice to have them close together. See what you're in the mood for today. Once you find that positioning, if you'd like to grab your toes or your ankles or even your shins, go ahead and do so. Lift your upper body nice and tall, open your chest, and think about the opposition between your sits bones and the crown of your head. So really lift away from your sits bones as your seat sinks into the ground. Let's go back to that Samavriti. This time we'll do 4-part breathing. So in Baddha Konasana, let's do one cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose. Open your mouth, let it go. Inhale for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. 4, 3, 2, 1. Controlled exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Great work. Go ahead and let those knees come up and down, creating a kind of butterfly movement here. Very nice. Now before we end today, we're going to come down on our backs. So if you'd like to remain in Baddha Konasana, you can use your hands to slowly lower yourself down to the mat. Once you've arrived, your head can fall to the mat as well. Shoulders on the mat, arms can be off to the side for now. Face is going straight towards the ceiling, but we'll turn it to the right, back to the ceiling, and then over to the left. Again, back to the ceiling, to the right, and to the left. Notice the back of your skull on the mat and how it feels. When you finish your last round, go ahead and bring your head back to the middle. Take your arms and just like we had them crossed at opposite elbows, do that again here. And let them drape behind your head. Make sure you're breathing here. Let your arms come up overhead and reverse the crossing of that forearm to the weird way. Let your arms fall over your head. Release that clasp. Take your hands to the outsides of your legs and press your knees together. Pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Lift your shoulders off the mat. Pull your forehead towards your knees. Rock and roll back and forth until you gain enough momentum to come to a seat. Thank you so much for joining me for today's class. I'm glad we can move in our own ways together.